It's decision time. Those exams will be over, and then what? What's next? Sixth form? College? Apprenticeship? Whatever you decide, at some stage you're going to have to write a personal statement. As you've probably never written anything like this before, it's scary. Well, nobody knows you better than you know yourself. You have the opportunity to show that this is absolutely the right decision for you, and you're going to thrive at it whatever you're applying for. So you've got to start thinking about what makes you stand out in a good way. I'm Jane Marshall. I work with students helping them to write their applications, and that means I spend my life reading personal statements. I read lots of them, and I mean lots. I know what makes a good personal statement and what makes a bad personal statement. You have to remember that everybody is unique. There are lots of ways to go about it. This should get you well on the way to writing an excellent personal statement. So, where do you start? Well, the first thing you need to do is start getting words down on that blank sheet of paper. Loads of them, whatever you can think of. Why do you want to do whatever it is you're applying for? What is it that gets you excited about it? What floats your boat? Be excited, be positive, don't be negative. Don't say something like, I want to do this course because lots of my friends are doing it, because that's not positive. Focus on the positives and forget your friends. You can write a different personal statement for each application, so think in detail about each of your applications. Whether you're applying to a training provider, an employer, a college or a school, explain why you'd fit in and what you'd bring to the mix. Check the UCAS Progress website or their own websites to see what they're after in their applicants, the entry requirements, the skills, whatever they're looking for. Explain why you're applying for whatever it is you're applying for. Are you doing it now and you want to study it more? Is it something new? You're fascinated by it and you're thinking, that needs to be a part of my future. It's fine if you don't know exactly what you want to do in the long run, as long as you can demonstrate that you've really thought about your decisions and you've thought about what you want to do now. Tell them how you got excited about what you're applying for. Did you get inspired at school? Did you then go to an open day or a careers event or talk to somebody or do something that made you think, wow, I'm going to do that? That's the kind of thing they're looking for. Then you can get some detail down, whether you've done some work experience, volunteering, a school project, a hobby, or some reading, all the things that back up your interest in whatever it is you're applying for. Throw those examples at the page. Get excited. Once you've written about whatever you're applying for, then you've got to start thinking about the skills you've got that will help you cope with it. That's stuff like communication, essay writing, practical skills, that sort of thing. You've got to start throwing more words at the page until something sticks. If you're getting stuck, ask your friends and family. They might be able to help you. Occasionally they don't. Avoid saying things like, my friends will tell you I'm very laid back. Think about what that says about you. Then think about what's exciting about you. What makes you unique? What makes you interesting and stand out? Remember, you may not think it's interesting, but somebody else will. You might like gaming. You might like gardening. You might like football. So will somebody else, so get that down on paper as well. But don't just say, I enjoy playing football. Say, I've enjoyed playing football for my school team for the past 4 years, and I really like the teamwork. It's motivated us to win most of our matches. But don't embellish too much and make sure you're telling the truth. So, what do you do next? You've got this big sheet of paper with all these words on it, and you've got to get it into something resembling a personal statement. That means you've got to squash it. You've got to condense it. So you need to start off with a really punchy opening paragraph. This is where you tell them how incredibly excited you are about what you're applying for and that you really understand what it is you're getting yourself into. Then you move on to the middle paragraph. That's the chunky bit. That's the bit full of the details and the evidence to prove your interest in whatever it is you're applying for. You're also going to sprinkle in stuff about your skills and good qualities so they know you can actually do it. And there's your middle paragraph. Now we move on to the end bit, and that's the personal touch. This is the bit where you tell them you are unique. What shows a different side to your personality? You tell them all the things you're interested in that will help you fit in wherever you're applying to. So, what do you avoid? Well, the first thing is verbal diarrhea. You've got to keep focused. You haven't got time to waffle. So make sure you're being relevant about whatever it is you're applying for. That's really important. Other things to avoid: showing off. Don't be arrogant. It's absolutely fine to back yourself up using lots of relevant examples. That's good showing off. But don't do bad showing off. That's arrogance. Avoid flowery language. Keep it to plain English. They need to understand what you're actually trying to say. So avoid stuff like the honour and the privilege of a particular work experience. Just focus on plain English. Copying. Don't copy. They'll find out if you've copied and it'll make your application look really, really bad. So they're the things you should avoid. So just to recap, this personal statement. You've got to show them that you know what you've applied for. You've got to show them how excited you are. You've got to give examples. Make sure it's a combination of head and heart. Be authentic, be focused, but be enthusiastic. That's what they're looking for. You're not going to get it right on the first go, so start early and keep coming back to it. Different organisations have different deadlines. Check them. You'll get it right in the end, and eventually you'll have a great personal statement that tells them all about you.